Okay, so this is a fun one. I actually really hated these videos. It was really annoying, but
Yeah.
it's okay. Okay, so how does beauty affect a woman's life?
I feel like it affects a woman's life in pretty much every aspect nowadays. Especially with social media, like there's so much comparison constantly happening, and like all throughout the ages, like so like it went from magazines to now social media, and people are constantly trying to contort, like turn themselves into this perfect person in a sense. And just like insecurity, I feel like can seep in a lot really easily if they don't feel beautiful.
Okay. Minzig,
Yeah.
you can comment.
I don't like this topic. Like,
Yeah, I feel
so,
that.
Yeah. So in the video, like they talked a lot about like how the beauty affect a woman's life, and there are a lot of like bad influence, and like there's a woman who talk about, you know, because women are fat, people might think that they're stupid, and people will see that like there's some girls went to Spain, and because they had like blonde hair, there's some Spanish guy like called them like piropo.
Yeah, like the
which is
catcalling.
compliment, but like kind of frightened them. So I feel like it has a lot of bad influence to them.
Okay.
Like people like judge them because of the beauty.
Yeah. I feel like it just creates this like artificial box of what women are supposed to look like, and like just in a professional kind of career setting, like women have to try a lot harder, and they have to like they're expected to look a certain way, or there's a lack of respect and credibility given to them. So I was at this research conference in April in Chicago, and I went to a panel, and there was this guy who was presenting his research, and he was wearing like a long sleeve t-shirt, sweats, and sliders, and like that was kind of the extreme of how some guys dressed, but there was kind of a general like guys would wear way less formal attire and like jeans and sneakers, and like I mean I'm all for that because I don't care, but then if you look around you see all the girls, all the women, and they're in, I mean like they have like dresses on, they're in suit pants, their hair is done, they have makeup on, like they have jewelry on, they have like designer glasses, like all of these things. They have perfect teeth, like everything about them has to fit into this kind of look, and when it doesn't, like it's so negative and people like aren't here for it. And yeah, so I feel like it puts them in a box, and like credibility, respect comes from not even like beauty, because I don't like thinking about beauty like that, and that's one of the reasons why I like it's just so subjective, the way like beauty is defined, and like right, beauty is in the eye of the beholder or whatever. And so like just the box that like this definition kind of a general overlay of beauty is supposed to look like is really restrictive. And yeah,
it's kind of like what we had to do yesterday for A Doll's House, where it's not A Doll's House, I can't remember. Virginia Woolf, the Virginia Woolf article, like how society is set up in a way to hold women back.
Yeah.
I feel like society's ideals of beauty kind of hold women back, because if you don't feel confident in yourself, you're not going to feel confident to go out in the world and excel.
Right.
And like subconsciously as well, I was listening to a podcast today about intuitive eating, and it was like when you're younger, your mirror neurons, you see like other insecure people, but if you feel like you don't look like everyone else, it creates so much insecurity within you.
Mm-hmm.
And then that prevents you from being able to kind of create a life you love because you're used to playing small.
Yeah. That's nice. Well, that's not nice, but that's like a good
Yeah.
insight connection. Okay, cool. So
Oh no.
wait, okay. You can consider the things women do to be beautiful as people turn. Oh, okay. Yeah. So, I guess like in the workplace, just in life in general, and like, Shelby, earlier you talked about like social media. I think social media is so interesting because it's like the influencers are all these beautiful people, and they have like really good bodies, and they have all this, you know, they look a certain way, they fit into this box, and like we label them as like ideal humans who get to live these ideal lives, right?
Yeah.
And then you have the like, I don't know, I just see stuff sometimes about like this influencer comes out and talks about the struggles of being an influencer and keeping up the appearance. And I really like that definition of like keeping up the appearance. Like, I feel like guys don't have to do that. And I feel like that's one of the differences between the way beauty kind of affects like males and versus females.
Yeah.
And like I grew up like in the South, and so like beauty and looking a certain way, like completely expected, you know, like there's a standard of beauty, and if you don't meet it, then like people would like talk about, I mean, this happens everywhere, right?
Yeah.
And like culturally, if we look at different states within the United States, different places, like in South Korea, like that standard of beauty is so extreme.
Yeah.
Right? Like all these South Korean girls, like South Korea, what is it? They're the number one plastic surgery country in the world.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends did a plastic surgery. I feel like the society kind of made them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, because everyone does it and everyone looks like kind of different.
Mm-hmm.
And then people want to follow that because it makes them like beautiful, more beautiful.
Wow, that's
And even the guys, like the guys started to do this plastic surgery. Like if they're not a member of our church,
yeah.
like most of the girls, they do the plastic surgery
Wow, that's so
to
interesting.
make them like beautiful. Yeah, it's kind of weird, but
Yeah.
I feel like it is becoming, like, I understand focusing on, like, the girls for this, but I feel like in society this also is becoming a thing with guys as, like, makeup and these things that allow us to look different or to express, you know, like, who we are with, like, I don't know, the weird makeup ways or whatever. Like, it's becoming acceptable that, like, men do these things too. And it doesn't necessarily, like, it doesn't make them gay. It doesn't, like, define their sexuality or anything like that. It's just, like, an expression of who they are. And so with women having to have the standard of beauty, like, that's kind of always been there, I feel like to a degree it is being passed off. And, you know, in other ways it always has been passed off on men, too. It just wasn't really ever talked about. And it more strictly is towards females. But, like, thinking about like the body expectations of men, or like everyone does the same like haircut and they do the little swift poof thing, or like all the boy bands look the same, like, you know, all those things that kind of make this more of an expanse like human problem than just a female problem.
Yeah.
And I've seen an like example, like, so one of my friends has a like girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And then she decided to do the like plastic surgery, and my friends told her like not to do that. And he said like he's not gonna like it. But after she did it, my friends, he started to like that face, like, because she became more beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And also like people say that like, oh, don't do this, don't do this, don't do the plastic surgery, like, but people accepted it a lot, especially nowadays. So like I feel like the beauty can have like more influence to the people, especially the women That's what I felt.
In the video, one of the things that bugged me was these girls were talking about like sexual abuse and like rape and all this stuff, and they were defining it as like this, like their tone, their set, whatever, like made it seem like they were like the only people that this happens to are beautiful women. And that bugged me a lot because I'm like, no, it is not just beautiful women who get raped, who get catcalled. Like, it's women. Like, don't sit here and be like, this is because I'm beautiful. Like, stop. That was one of the things that really bugged me in the video that I didn't like, is their overall, like, all these, like, I have all these problems because I am beautiful that negatively affect my life that, like, these other women who aren't beautiful don't have to deal with or don't have to encounter. And I'm just like, oh, honey.
It's a woman problem.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm glad I'm not the only one who was upset by that.
Yeah. I feel like this topic is always so complex.
Yeah.
It's interesting as well because with beauty, it also, I feel, gives certain, like, people that suit the standard ideal of beauty, I feel like can create a lot of superiority. In a sense, I remember when I was younger, like, standards of beauty are like it's crazy how pervasive it is, especially for children even. Like, beauty can impact little girls' lives so much, because I did acting and I remember being like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so sad that I look this way because then I can't get as many roles or anything, because like the most popular beauty ideal for like acting was like blonde hair, blue eyes. Like, that was pretty much like every casting thing.
Yeah.
So it's like beauty impacts so many different areas, like including job potentials for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like, even like at Bonsai Bowls, my friend works there and she's like, yeah, the manager only hires like pretty girls. And it's like,
Oh my God.
interesting.
Yeah.
But it's like, it is true. Like, if you go into Bonsai Bowls, like, most of the girls that work there are really pretty. So it's like, it can impact your life in a career sense as well, I feel.
Yeah.
Like, especially when we're younger, because it's like, you can get the job if there's like a creepy dude managing everything, you know?
Yeah. Or like the way your body looks, not just like the way your face looks, can get you jobs.
Yeah.
And yeah.
And I think the most important, like, most biggest problem is that, like, people are judging each other and they're, like, jealous of each other. Like, there's example, like, there's a beautiful woman who, like, dressed up, but there is her friend, like, told her, like, hey, go dress down. Like, and some people tend to think that cheerleaders are just bad people. And I feel like it's just judging others.
That was really interesting, because I was like, if a friend ever told me that I needed to dress down, I would just be like, I'm not going to go out with you.
Yeah.
Are you crazy? Like, I'm not going to go change. Let's go. Like, in the piece by Simone de Beauvoir, she was talking about the, like, social construct, right? And she's like, men aren't the only one that allow this to happen, like, women are too. And, like, I think this is one of the ways exemplified of that, like, that exemplifies that shows, like, this is a female problem also, that, like, we accept and allow to be a thing. And, yeah, like, that was really interesting to me, because if someone told me to go change, I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Alright. Like, do you feel good? I feel good. I feel like we've sufficiently discussed this topic.
Yeah. How many minutes do we have?
14.
Yay! Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. Who's writing this one?
I got this.
Okay. Cool.
Have fun.
Alright, yeah, for real. Good luck. Alright, bye guys.
You're gonna say it?